What's up, guys? Episode 59 of the Dave Van Auken Show. I am joined by Bunny Boston Comments. What's up, Bunny?
Hi, happy to be here. Thank you, Dave, for welcoming me.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. There's so many reasons why I love MMA and the UFC and all of that, but this might be the number one. You ready for this one?
Yes.
With a week that we can talk about Jose Aldo, Pettis, and Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The three names I want to talk to you about the most is Felicia Spencer, Christopher Curtis, and Rafael Fiziev. Like, that's why I love MMA. It's insane. It's bananas.
Who do you talk about? There's so much going on.
It's so much is going on. And
Yes.
yeah, we got to do Bellator. You were live at Bellator, so we'll get into this. We'll kind of recap what we just watched. Jose Aldo defeated Rob Font, looked phenomenal. I don't know why people were anti Jose Aldo a 5-round fight. We'll kind of get into that. And then we'll do a little preview of UFC 269. I feel like we're not going to have enough time, but we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Let's get him while we can.
Let's get him. Let's get him. For one, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
So, okay, give me the scoop. How did this whole Bellator thing happen? How did you get there live and the whole media?
I don't like to name drop because I'm not about the clout life, but I was fortunate enough to be there cage side with the blue corner with Extreme Couture. They were very welcoming. I would like to first and foremost shout out to Jeremy Kennedy and his wife Haley Kennedy, two of the nicest people I've ever met. They are exceptional people and really hold up to the Canadian reputation of being just very friendly and welcoming. But that was an incredible card to witness cage side, I will admit. So it was an honor to be there. Thank you, Eddie Baracco, and to everyone who welcomed me. That was a good time.
It was insane. There was definitely some really key highlights.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that Sergio Pettis. That was an insane. I love the fight going into it. And then Hiragochi was, winning the fight through 20 minutes of the fight. And Sergio did kind of pull something magical there, which was insane. He was
and I asked him in the press conference, actually, because I was with the Bellator press conference, the virtual press conference. I asked him if he was looking, since he's more of his last couple fights went to decision. So I said, are you looking for a finish? Are you looking for a statement? And watching him we respectfully dominated through every round, I was like, are you looking for the finish? So I was a little hesitant, but he surprised us all. He left on a stretcher, God bless the man. I was sitting with his whole family, Hiragoshi, and he left on a stretcher. So, Sergio Pettis really showed up and proved that he is patient, but he will strike when he needs to. And he silenced all the haters. And Anthony Pettis cashed in a serious bet.
I know, that was insane. That was so cool. I even posted that. I saw that you liked that. That was awesome. The one thing I like, so right there, I heard, us in social media land, it's what we do, right? We're in it all the time. We see a lot of awesome things. There's so many great people and great stuff, but we see a lot of dumb shit and trolls, all that nature. A lot of people are saying that the whole Pettis shot was like lucky. It was a lucky shot. I keep hearing that. I'm like, guys, this is what they do in the gym. Like, they work on, unique transitions, and how he threw it was flawless, and how he threw it was quick and was hurtful and harmful. And then the last little, the cherry on top was, I absolutely love that he didn't throw another punch. Yes. He knew the Hiragochi was gone. He knew the ref was coming. He kind of was right there and stayed away. I'm like, dude, I met Sergio. He was out there in Pensacola a couple years ago. He was a stud, and I was so happy that he kind of reinforced it.
It's hard to claim luck. There is a lot of timing and luck involved with MMA. We all understand that as fans and as professionals.
Right, right.
With the spinning back fist, it's hard to claim luck on that. That was a perfectly timed spinning back fist. And if you've watched Sergio Pettis, you know that he is all about patience, reading, and timing. He is a very defensive fighter. He waits for the right opportunity, and he was getting dominated. So I can see why some casuals, and I hate to use that word, but I can see why some casuals claim luck. Right. But if you've ever thrown a spinning back fist, you know that there's a lot of calculation behind that. So
absolutely. Said. Well said.
Much respect to his opponent, because he dominated the entire fight for 4 or 5 rounds. So
looked so good. I'm actually really excited that they made that whole Grand Prix for the bantamweights moving forward next year. Because Rafael Stotts wants in there.
I saw him in the lobby of
How was he? Dude, he's a stud, right?
Yes! He's a total stud.
He's a stud.
All of those
and it's packed. It's like, I know there's 8 guys. There's like 5 legitimate people that have a shot to win it. And I love that, we might see what we saw a couple nights ago. We might see a rematch of that in the finals, maybe 10 months from now. We'll see.
It's going to be a good time. That's going to be the event of the century, I think. That's going to be a good time.
I kind of I have one kind of little negative thing I want to bring up about Bellator, but let's start on the positive side. What was something that jumped out at you for you being there live? What performance, what kind of individual, what kind of something even outside the cage? What kind of popped at you that night other than that main event?
I think the all-around atmosphere
was
what really jumped out at me with Bellator. It was at Mohegan Sun, which was an odd venue for me. I'm not super familiar with I've always watched Bellator fights, but I've never been there myself in Mohegan Sun. But the all-around atmosphere was very supportive. I think we all agree that Bellator is a little bit less explosive than UFC. The people are there less to prove themselves and it's more of a chess match, with Bellator.
Yeah.
But it was really well put together. It was a really beautiful event. All of Extreme, big shout out to Extreme Couture, because all of their fighters, Kai Kamaka coming out with the win, and then Jeremy Kennedy coming out with the win. It was a really great night. I just so happened that all of my guys got the win, so I'm biased, but it was a really good energy. Everything was really well put together, so it was an honor to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, even the opponents' corners got along well, so it was just, we were all there for the same reason. It's because we were all passionate about the sport, and we all recognize the incredible talent and courage that goes into fighters
for sure,
getting in the octagon. So
for sure, love that you said that. Okay, so my one little, not negative take, I think just a real take. So tonight we saw UFC Vegas 44. I kind of do want to get into that. There's a couple huge highlights right off the top. Fourth fight, like the fourth fight on the card, to the top of the main event. Like you see like these really big names, like guys like with Brendan Allen, even like the light heavyweight with Jamel Hill and Crute. So like big names.
Yeah.
Where Bellator is lacking, I don't think they promote enough the third fight, the fourth fight, the fifth fight. Like it was a Sergio Pettis title fight. Like that's what they promoted. And I don't think they promote the undercard good enough. Dude, Johnny is what? 10-0, 11-0 now, just going through people. Like Bellator never puts him on social media. Do they even know he's on the roster? Am I onto something or am I off?
No, you couldn't, Dave. This is your show, so I can come on completely unbiased. You couldn't be more correct. I think I do better at promoting Bellator than Bellator does promoting Bellator.
100%.
Not only with promotion, but with matchmaking as well. I think it was Scoggins. No, I'm sorry. There was another gentleman who was going up against, he was his Bellator debut, and he went up against an undefeated, and he got completely dominated. And not only promotion, I love Bellator, and excuse me for talking shit about Bellator, but there are some serious flaws that you can see that you pointed out, Dave.
Right.
And the reason why they're not as successful as UFC, it's promoting and it's matchmaking. There are a lot of adjustments they need to make. There was some very odd matchmaking within the preliminary card of Bellator that was just like, what were they thinking? Putting these guys up together.
Here's just one blistering example. 6 months ago, Valerie Laredo lost to Hannah Guy. Hannah Guy did not get re-signed. Hannah Guy is fighting R. Taylor Starlin Thursday at Tampa. Yes! So it's like, why wouldn't Bellator keep Hannah Guy a part of the roster who defeated, one of their superstars, and try to even promote Hannah, so maybe you have another superstar in the works? It makes no sense.
Bellator would rather promote this with no offense, again, respectfully, this is your show. I hope I'm not being respectful, but they would rather promote the social media side of, hey, I like to twerk Valerie Laruda, but Hannah Guy is, I'm sorry, she has so much more potential fight-wise.
Yeah.
Than Valerie Laruda. Now, Valerie Laruda, her taekwondo is insane, but she has not yet proven that she is a stud in the octagon. So they're taking her twerking over Hannah Guy's fighting ability, and that's where they flaw big time, because Hannah Guy's going up against Taylor Stalling. Taylor she is yet to be stopped.
And you had the opportunity to come to Tampa, but you're going to Rhode Island. But that's here or there. Here or there.
You're just gonna call me out right here on the podcast. All right.
I had this all great intro about you, about a musician and playing pool and all that, and we went right into it. I went right over. That was a bad hosting job by me. I'll take the C- on that one.
Rhode Island instead. That's fine. That's fine.
So tonight's show was awesome. Man, it was so good. It was such a weird show because it was coming off of this Thanksgiving break, and then next week is a huge UFC pay-per-view, which the prelim card could be a pay-per-view in itself, so it's stacked. So I felt this card was getting lost a little bit, but Christopher Curtis, Rafael Fiziev, the female match was awesome. The main event was great, and then Jamil Hill was that's a blockbuster performance, just insane. Definitely to start the top, Jose Aldo. I don't understand why people underrate this man. I don't know if you saw. So I threw out like a little Mount Rushmore. I love doing shit like that on low weights, and I put Jose Aldo on it. And people started coming at me with Jose Aldo. It's like he lost to this and this. Like he lost to Max Holloway, one of the greatest of all times. He got caught by Conor when Conor was in his prime. If they fight right now, everyone in the world would bet on Jose Aldo to smash Conor McGregor in 2022. Like smash. So it's just like, he caught him at the wrong time. Conor was at his peak then. Supreme confidence that happens. I don't know why people overlook Jose Aldo, the king of Rio.
He's an icon to the sport. He was here, but people praise him when they want to praise him and then discredit him when they want to discredit him. It's obnoxious, but let the fans do what they want to do. But like you said, because of UFC 269, which is like an unbelievable, I didn't think anything could top UFC 268, but here we have 269 to close out the year. And because of that, people have slept on this card. Yeah. But if this card has been pitched as a pay-per-view, everyone in America, everyone global-wide would have bought this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I mean, it was stacked from this first fight to the last. It was stacked, and it held up as it should have.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. I'm a Brendan Allen guy. I like him a lot. I just like his personality and kind of been connecting with him over the years. But I know Christopher Curtis. Like Christopher Curtis is this dark horse sleeper. Yes. And he kind of I love his fight. He kind of goes in there with I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to go. Like you can kind of tell. And sometimes it's really free to fight that way. Like he has no pressure. He's just going, and he's fucking dangerous. Like he is dangerous right now.
Yeah. The most dangerous fighters are the ones that people sleep on or don't know. I'm telling you.
Right.
I think Aaron the dog, shout out.
Shout out.
Well, because he's so unpredictable in the way that he fights. And he's not, people get so latched onto these big, headline names that they forget about these other incredible fighters who may not have the greatest reputation, but are unbelievable in the octagon. Yeah. It's confusing to me, but I understand it, but this card was slept on for no reason whatsoever.
Big time. Yeah. And then maybe the performance of the night, Rafael Fiziev, and then calls out Vince Vaughn from the Wedding Crashers. Are you kidding me? Internship?
Yes, dude. What a fucking fight. I knew
so good.
You can't just call out Hasbulla and then not win a fight. You just can't do that.
Very true. Very true. He is an absolute problem in that division. Like he is no one wants to mess with him. Like
that's the thing. He's beautiful for the sport. He is such a beautiful aspect to the sport. He brings a lot of excitement to that division. People want to attach to his name. People want to fight him, but people are also scared of him. So it's like this weird juxtaposition. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
You know how people all the time they create all these lists what fights you want to see in 2022, with New Year's Eve coming around the corner and happy holidays, all this stuff coming up. They always go oh, I want to see Francis Ngannou versus Stipe, they these huge matchups. A top 3, top 5 fight I want to see in 2022. I want to see Islam Makhachev versus Rafael Fiziev. How insane is that? How insane is that? Oh,
just a stand-up versus rest. That would be that would be beautiful. That would be unpredictable though. Who do you put money on in that case?
Well, Islam he's like like I even heard if he fights Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he would be the favorite. Like it's crazy. So Vegas has
Bring
a
up
lot of
Dustin Poirier like that.
hey, dude.
Hey.
I'm a diamond guy. He's back here somewhere.
Wait,
I got pictures.
Do you have the picture with you? Why don't you show the crowd? Do you have the picture? Come on. Come on. It's got to be here somewhere. I need the audience, the new audience, to see it. Come on. Because Dustin Poirier happens to be my favorite fighter of all time. Where is it? You got it? Ah, there it is. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Look at it. Oh, you two look dynamite.
I'm a Dustin. I am a Dustin guy for sure. I love Dustin Poirier.
That's why we get along so well.
I guess that, if there's nothing else really jumping at you tonight, I guess we can we're talking about it. Should we really transition into a little UFC 269? Are we going there? Okay. All right. So the card is stacked. There's definitely a couple sleeper fights we'll definitely jump into, but let's just kind of start right there at the top. Poirier is the favorite. A lot of money's going on in the last week or two. I like him a lot in this fight. I just think he has this absolute grit and determination and just this willpower. I like him a lot. I talked to some people. I was with Julie. Oh, okay. I'll say that for the end. Okay. I talked to some people. Some people are saying that I'm sleeping on Oliveira too much, I'm like, maybe I am, or is Dustin going to win this with a third round TKO, just pressure the shit out of him?
Second round TKO. But Dave, just because you're rooting heavy on one fighter in a certain round does not mean you're discrediting or sleeping on the other opponent.
Right.
That is a huge aspect that's lost on predictions.
True.
You're not going in saying, oh, easy fight.
No.
Charles is a grappler. He's a fucking savage. He took out Michael Chandler, he's got endurance. Like, he's not to be slept on. But Dustin has faced the best of the best. And he's got power. He's got shoulders. He's got muscle. He's got size over Oliveira. This is his fight all day. And it's long overdue. Dustin Oliveira, round 2 TKO all the way.
I know. That's so funny you said that. I love that you said that. I just feel there's like this, if Oliveira wasn't the champion, like just say if that Michael fight didn't happen, or if that was like a weird number one contendership for some reason, I would feel maybe a tad bit different. But I think with Oliveira winning the championship, having kind of 6, 7, 8 months now to drink champagne, to party with family and friends. I literally know of some gyms that he's traveled to and taken pictures and done the championship tour. Dustin's in the damn gym, boxing and training and spending time with the family. I like Dustin a lot in this fight. No disrespect to Charles. No disrespect. If he came in here right now, I would shake the man's hand and be like, dude, you're one of the greatest, dude. You're one of the best in the world.
Listen, he got his belt. He held it. It's just now time to give it to Dustin, who has been known by the MMA community as the uncrowned lightweight king. It is. Yes. It's just his time. That's it. Charles will go down. He had the belt, and he'll be remembered for it. And I will respect him forever. He fought hard to get it. But it is Dustin's time. Dustin has not been given the credit that he has deserved. It's just his time, and that's fine. It is nothing to do with Charles. Charles, if anything, it's respect to Charles. Charles is the only one that, was able to put up a fight against Dustin. So it speaks volumes to both fighters, but it's Dustin's time. And
the crazy thing, and I really don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but the crazy thing is that everything you're hearing about Dustin is if he wins, he's going maybe probably up to 170 to do a couple of different stuff up there. It would be wild if he wins, goes up, and then it's like Oliveira and then Gaethje in the spring. No, you think he's staying?
I don't think. I think that might be. I just, I could be wrong, and I'll be the first one to admit it. But Dustin's not going to 170. I think it's closer to his natural weight. But I don't think that after winning, if he is to win the title, he's not going up to 170. He's going to fight in the welterweight division. Are you kidding me? That's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I love it.
How would that make sense in his career? Come on. He's getting older now. He's made plenty of money. He has no reason to prove himself in that division. There's just no reason. He's going to retire. That's just to keep his name relevant. There's just no way.
Yeah,
to admit if I'm wrong. But
the only thing I would say, the only little thing, the two little tidbits is maybe some kind of crazy Nate Diaz fight at 170 or even Nick or something up there at 170. And then the last thing, and I do want to have this conversation with you because I don't know if I'm going to talk to you before the year's end. Hopefully I do. Poirier Usman, does that not do anything for you? Nothing?
That does nothing. That couldn't do less for me.
Dustin to beat Usman, the pound for
less
pound fighter in the world?
That could not do less for me than him fighting Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like I just couldn't do less for me. I didn't even want to have that conversation.
I was going to bring him up soon.
Oh,
Upset
you rage
alert.
Now. I'm about to break my computer. You bring up Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Oh no, I'm bringing him up because he's going to get beat in a week.
Yes!
You're welcome. Yeah, it's happening.
Everybody's sleeping on Pava. I swear to God.
I love, dude. He's my best underdog pick on the whole card.
Oh, Dave, and this is why you're a legend, among other things. But this right here, this prediction, whoever's watching, this is why Dave Van Auken is a legend. You're picking the smart pick. Go with the dog on this one. I'm telling you.
I don't know. There's just like something about like Sugar Sean just super overlooking him, like just not even caring in a pay-per-view spot. And like, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like he didn't put away Mutiano last time at all. Like there's something, I don't know. Like
people say Chris Mutino was a can, but that went almost to a decision within the last couple seconds.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, Chris, whether you agree with me or not, Chris rocked him a couple times. He checked him a couple of times. He may have gotten his ass beat, but it was also his UFC debut. And he was 9-4 going into it. You're facing this, no offense, I don't want to say nobody because any fighter period is beyond any level of strength. But it should have been like a first round kind of elbow TKO kind of thing. And instead it went 4 rounds. I mean, I think it went, what? Did it go 4 rounds?
3.
Oh, it went 3 rounds? Are you sure?
Yeah. First fight of the night.
Was it a 3-round fight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it almost went to sorry, I thought 5 rounds for some fucking reason. It went almost to decision.
Yeah.
I think it's about time that Sugar Sean gets exposed, and I feel fine with it because he still has his social media presence. He's still going to make plenty of money. People still love him. It's just, it's time.
It's time. There's so many fights to choose from. Name me one fight on that card. You're like, all right, I'm watching this. Like there's so many, there's like 5 supreme sleeper fights. What's one fight that you're like, oh, I can't wait?
I can't focus on anything but Dustin Poirier. I can't. I'm trying to, but like, you should see me during every Dustin Poirier. I think my friends have pictures of me like hiding in corners every Poirier fight. Like it's gonna end horribly.
No, I got friends like that too. It's so fun. One of my dear friends, my best friend for over 25 years, 20 years now, his wife watches it with us. She recorded us in the Chandler Gaethje fight. Was insane. But like anytime that Weidman or Rose fights, like she can't watch. She like,
I get that. She's
like, that's how she watches the fight.
Cling to her like Wreckage in the Storm because
she's amazing.
Like that truly get the passion of the sport, and that's awesome.
Nunez, I'll throw one at you.
Talking about Poirier, and we forget about that. Nunez is coming back, and she's a mom now, like, and she's facing Pena. Like, how do you think that's gonna go? I think we all know, but how do you think that's gonna
go? No, I'm gonna say Nunez.
Me too.
But yeah, Nunez is gonna win. Like,
I
try like with Lord Murphy, like I try to push it for like 2 weeks, and then at the end I'm like, okay, Valentina's gonna do it. Like the same, I'm not going there. Like I've done that so much. Amanda's gonna win. I kind of think she's gonna stop her early too, within 7 minutes. She's the greatest female fighter and one of the best fighters in the history of the sport. Men, female, brown, white, black, man. She's amazing. Amazing.
She could face a lot of male fighters, I think, and hold her own.
Amanda versus O'Malley. Who wins right now?
Amanda.
Okay, there you go.
I think Sean O'Malley would get dominated by my mailman, but that's, again, I know. I'm sorry. There are very few people who I'm completely biased against.
Okay, the fight I love on this card, and of course we know there's someone at the beginning of the fight night that we absolutely love and adore on the show. But a fight on the card that's so good that's not getting no pub. Josh Emmett versus Dan Ige. I love that fight. I love that fight.
Nobody's talking about that fight, Dave.
No one.
Let's talk about it right now.
I love it. Like, Emmett's such a stud, and I know he tore his ACL, so I'm kind of like, and it's been a while. I think it's been 10 to 12 months since he's fought last.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of leaning Ige to kind of get that rust off. But like, I like Josh Emmett a lot. I think he's one of those top 5, top 10 most underrated fighters on the whole banner. Like, he's a stud, Josh Emmett.
I love the underrated fighters because
Yeah.
those are the ones that will surprise you.
Yeah.
And that's what gets the word going again. Once they shock the world and get their name out there, that's what gets people talking. And that's what I appreciate about fighters like that. Who
Crazy.
just go out and say, you didn't know me a minute ago, and now I'm walking away with this massive paycheck. And I love that shit.
Jillian the Savage Robertson minus 400.
The Savage is minus 400.
Minus 400. I can't even bet on her.
Well, fuck yes, Jillian.
I can't bet on her. I told her that to her face. I'm like, I can't bet on you.
Sorry, but we can root for you hard.
Oh my God.
400. That's like easy. Come on. I can't believe she's minus 400.
Yeah, it's wild. She's the biggest, second biggest favorite on the card.
If
Monday.
she takes that to the ground, good night. Good night. Nice to know you. See you later.
It's happening. It's happening like quick. I think
you were just hanging with her. How she looked? She looked good.
I can't tell you inside
right.
circuits.
Okay.
She looked really good, like really good. No, she looks awesome. She looks ready. Like, and I, we talked about it. Black. Now we're on air, so we can kind of mention with the Banana and the Bee podcast. When we talked to Jillian and I talked to her face to face, I said this, and like when I was with her just this last week, I kind of mentioned it. Monday, we got a really cool video that's going to drop. It called a Savage session here at Fight Bananas. I think it's time Jillian starts a 5-fight win streak. Like, it's time right now. Like, this is the start.
She's hungry. She's a savage. Like, it's about her time. Come on.
It's time. I think it's like she's in the prime of her career. I think she went through a couple of those losses against a couple girls, and I think she like took all that in, and now it's like it's time.
Tough losses though.
Oh,
not easy opponents, and she put up a fight against them.
Oh yeah, like
so
she had Santos in a couple weird positions. Miranda Maverick was 2 judges, or no, 1 judge had Jillian winning 1 or 2. Like so, hey. We can't go down this rabbit hole. We can't go down it.
All right, real quick. How do you feel about Cody Garbrandt? How you feel about him?
I think
I'm not tied either way. Just give it to me straight, boss.
Kai's gonna win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing against
I don't like Cody at all.
I'm not rooting against you, but
TJ Dillashaw, like he smashed him, like that got in his head. Then, like, he was hurt for a while. Then he fought for 5 rounds. Did not look good. And then you're going to move down 10 pounds?
Yeah.
Like, don't like it. I like France a lot.
I like that prediction. That's not really one of the most, which is weird because I've always been excited about Cody no-love fights. I really have been. And these last couple of years, I've been like, I'm just not, I don't get so excited about it anymore, which is fine. Every career, every fighter has to have
there's arcs
out, but yeah, I'm not very confident. Even moving down, I'm not very confident in this fight. I'm happy that we lean the same way there, even though I don't bet, but still.
I get super bright to like this. Oh, okay, I'm back. Okay, so 2 fun off questions, and we can go 3 to 5 minutes on them. You ready?
Okay, let's go. Quick.
All right, the first one, because I'll leave the second one to the really crazy fun one. So probably a month ago, right before the Usman fought, right, against Colby Covington, I kind of threw this out there to me, like the fighter of the years. Like, it's always like there's like in basketball, people are already talking about the MVP. Football, is Tom Brady going to win the MVP? Is it going to be Josh Allen? Like, it's already been talked about. Like, it's a big thing. So in the UFC, like, there's not a MVP, but there's a fighter of the year, right?
Right.
So I threw out there that both at, a month ago, Usman and Poirier were both 2-0, had 2, humongous wins, but Usman had Covington and Poirier had Oliveira. I'm like, God, those 2, if they go 3-0, 3 huge main events, 3 headline shows, like those are 2, like it's got to be one of those 2, right? But I do want to throw out 2 new names to this.
Okay.
First name, Max Holloway. So Max Holloway started the year against he's amazing. He started the year against Calvin Kattar, ended the year with Yair Rodriguez, like 2 of the best fights of the year, 2 of the best performances of the year. Just like, how can you not put his name into it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. The second name, probably 4th place, but I do want to give him this. And like, I know I'm going to get trolled. I know as soon as this comes out on the airways, people are coming at me.
10 haters. Let's see how you can get to 11. Let's go, baby.
The action man, Christopher Curtis. He's 6-0, 4 outside the UFC, and then 2 in the UFC with upsets with Phil Hawes and Brendan Allen. Like, I think that's incredible.
I love this.
Right?
You know what? Chris Curtis is if you were to ask any MMA fighter who Chris Curtis was, I bet 8 out of 10 people wouldn't know who Chris Curtis was. I promise you. He's not one that is talked about the way that most of these big name fighters, like you say, who is Max Holloway? They're all going to know who you're talking about. The best is blessed. And rightfully so. But Chris Curtis is 1,000% slept on for no reason, which makes you wonder how does it so out of balance? What do these fighters need to do to get their names so spoken about, such as people like Max Holloway? I will say that Max Holloway's fight against Yair was way more revolutionary than his fight against Kattar, which, no offense to Kattar, but you know, he
it was more one-sided.
Out of 700 punches, like that's whereas Yair put up a fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, it was so good. So good. Like,
so good. One of my favorite fights this year.
Yeah, it's got to be top 3, top 5 fights of the year. Might be even the best. Like,
couldn't agree more.
It's hard. So I just want to throw that out there.
Which is what I really loved, was that they showed incredible respect afterwards.
Right.
Love that shit.
If or when Poirier wins the title against Oliveira, is Poirier or Usman out of those 2? Like, to me, those are so close.
So close?
Like, for the fighter of the year, like Usman defeated Burn. Like, oh my God.
Okay. I'm trying. I've been very respectful thus far.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's okay. We all have different opinions. It's okay.
So Dustin the Diamond Poirier, when he defeats Oliveira, beating Conor McGregor not once but twice, and winning the lightweight championship, he will concrete granite the 2021 Fighter of the Year.
How can you know? How can you not give it to Dustin Poirier, dude? Come on.
Okay.
All right. Maybe his latest win against McGregor was not what we all expected. I understand that. But his second win against McGregor was enough to negate the first loss against McGregor, right? So he's beaten the best of the best, and I'm a big fan of Usman after seeing Usman live and seeing him, you know, defend Colby's takedowns. Who Colby is an elite wrestler, so seeing him shut down those takedown attempts.
Covington, Masvidal, and Burns. That's a good list.
It is, but Poirier's list is more impressive.
Okay,
sorry.
I'm not going to argue.
I don't care about winning streaks either. Streaks mean nothing to me. I'm sorry. Because I've watched all these fights, so I've seen what the streaks have led to, and I'm not discrediting Usman, but I can't. I would love to chit chat with everybody in the comments who thinks that Usman deserves Fighter of the Year over Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier deserves Fighter of the Millennium, and I will fight you to the death on this. I'm not just biased. I can't.
No argument.
It's number two. Two is fine. But Dustin is number 1.
Silver medal is a great medal. That's good.
It's a great medal. It's why it exists. Dustin is gold. That is just how it is.
Goodness. That's so
funny.
And
if you look at compare their fights, you know what I mean? Compare their fight. Like, I don't know. Masvidal is an incredible fighter. He's an incredible fighter, but he did put up a good fight against Usman before he got knocked out. And I don't know. Masvidal is like one of those cocky fighters where he lets his desire to explode and get that knockout in the way of his actual ability. So
right.
Dustin, I am also so biased, and I'll admit it. I'm just so
All right. We'll go. That's a great list. Christopher Curtis, Max Holloway, Kamaru Usman, and Dustin the Diamond Poirier, Fighters of the Year candidates 2021. We'll wrap it up on this. We're 35 minutes into it, and this is like a 2-3 minute conversation, and I would love your take, and I love your takes of all MMA and your passion and your energy and all that. So I would really want you to touch on this. Felicia the Phenom Spencer 5 days ago kind of walks away from the sport. When she did that, what was your first take? What was the first thing that came to your head when she's like, "Hey, I'm done," off of one of the best performances of her career, off of a win? Everyone thinks she's the number 1 or number 2 contender to the title. Like, what was your first take when she walked away?
My first take was, I think you made a typo in who, because you told, since you broke the news, I can now share that you shared it with us. My first take was like, I don't think you typed the right person in. There's no way she's retiring. That was my first take.
So like shock.
It was shock. It was
okay.
It was like, there's no way she's young. Everybody loves her. That she's so successful. I'm like, there's no way he's talking about the right person. Let me do some Googling. So that was my first take. My second take was, thank you for being an example that it's okay to step away from the fight game if you're ready. And I know that's not exciting, that's not attention grabbing or headline grabbing, but you mentioned she was in a good headspace. Walk away. If that is where you're at, walk away. I think that's beautiful. She gave us so many good fights, and she's such a lovable, respectable human being. How can we not feel happy for her?
Yeah.
She's given us so much in the sport, and she's been such an icon in the sport. But my first take was shock. I was like, she's such a dominant fighter. How could she? She's such a lovable, iconic character in the sport. How could she walk away from this?
Yeah, no, that was kind of the first thing. There was definitely a little bit of shock, but then after like talking to her and just kind of knowing her and just hearing it in her voice and everything, I was like so happy. It was so weird. I keep on telling this to people, and people are like, "Really?" I'm like, I was so happy that she felt such in a good mind space, head space, and knowing in her heart to like, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm gonna walk away." Because like I talked to so many people now over the last 48, 72 hours about this. Like, the fight game is so hard. And especially towards the end, like no one leaves at the right time. Like literally, it's like 2 people, George St. Pierre and Felicia Spencer. They're like the only ones that are like, "Hey, I won. I feel good. My body feels good. Like, I don't need this. I'm going to walk away."
Look at Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar's like, I'm on a 2 crazy knockout loss, and I'm not done yet. There's no right time to walk away.
Yeah, and it's
not respect her decision to say, you know what? I've succeeded here. It's time to move on to my next chapter. It's beautiful. And she's leaving on her terms too. She's not leaving because she got cut or because she's on a streak. She's leaving on her terms. How can you not admire that?
Yeah, it's
heartbreaking as a fan, but as a human, you gotta respect it.
Yeah, it's like so powerful. It's like so to have in any kind of space of life, any kind of human to be so fulfilled and like kind of confident in herself to be like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to chase this. Like,
And also, that's a very good example for future fighters to say, hey, if you feel like you are fulfilled and you're ready to leave, do it. Preserve your mind, your brain, your body, your health. If you're feeling fulfilled, there's so much more to life. As much as I hate to admit, there's so much more to life than fighting.
Right. It's wild. It was crazy. It was it was special. It was wild. I think we did it. That was amazing. I know we probably like skipped on some things, but like
I'm gonna see you again, Dave.
Jose Aldo, amazing. Rafael Fiziev, one of the knockout. That was so good, and it was a great stoppage by the referee. It was awesome. They just jumped right in there because he was ghosted, and Fiziev was going to do some major damage. Hill with a great knockout. It was a good night for sure.
Great prelim card too.
Great prelims. Sergio Pettis with one of the moments in Bellator. One of them. Sergio's got this little magic about him. Like, he really does have a little bit of this powder around him. I'm really happy for him and his brother. Got some great things going on there. And then, we're less than a week away now. The countdown is literally on. UFC 269. Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. Lightweight championship. Great card. 1 through like 13. Jillian the Savage Robertson to kick off the card. I think we did it. You have anything else?
It has been an honor. Thank you for having me here. Shout out to Extreme Couture and Eddie Barraco real quick. So thank you, fighters. Thank you, Dave, for having me. Go follow Banana and the Bee podcast.
Thursday, Taylor Starlin, Hannah Guy.
Yes.
Bare Knuckle FC Tampa. I will be
Fight
there.
of the fucking year. Now that's fight of the year right there.
Dude.
Taylor Starling and Hannah Guy. Taylor's gonna fucking win it.
If you see Taylor Starlin walk out, then me afterwards, I'm just gonna, you never know. I'm gonna be like dancing down the aisle. I'm doing something crazy. I don't know.
Thank you for having me here,
Wait.
David.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you.
See you soon. Bye.